Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to draw Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan from Dragon Ball Z. So let's go ahead and start in between his eyes. We're going to draw the little curve, the wrinkle that connects both eyes. So a little curve that goes upwards. Now from here, you're going to take the ends and just draw two diagonal lines coming in towards each other. From here, let's go and draw the bottom part of the brow on the right side. So from here, I'm going to curve up and out to the right side. I'm going to make that twice as thick. So I'm going to taper out from the center and go wider as I go to the outside. Now from here, I just want to connect these 2 points with a diagonal line. Just go and do the exact same thing on the left side. So I just want to make sure that I get the bottom part of the brow at the same height. So I'm going to start up on the left side and curve down towards the center. And then I'm going to take that diagonal line, I'm going to start there, and then connect and taper down towards the center. Now let's draw the eyes. So just on the inner side of the brow, I'm going to draw an angled line, just a very short angled line on the inner parts of the eye. And from here, I'm going to angle out and curve out, and then tuck this in under the brow. Let's do that same thing on the left side. So curving down, and then angling outwards to the outside of the eye. And then we're going to draw the little wrinkles under the eye. So what it is basically a little angled line and a curve just under the eye. Do the same on the left side. Just curving that out. Let's move on down to the nose. So right about here in the center, I'm going to draw a little point. From here, I'm just going to curve out towards the right, and I'll curve out towards the left with a really short line. In the center, I'm going to go straight up, and then I'm going to take this point, connect to that side on the left with a curve that kind of goes inwards, like that. Let's go and draw the mouth. So just below the nose, I'm going to draw a straight line across, and I'm going to angle a line towards the right and up on the left side. Now down here, I want to draw the bottom part of the mouth, so his mouth is kind of open. So here, I'm going to draw an angle line going down, and again, an angle line going down the right side, and then just connecting the 2 points straight across. And for a little bit of detail on the side of the mouth, we're just going to draw a little, sort of like an arrow. So it kind of goes up, and then down. So we go up, and down. And then below the lip, just draw a little straight line like that. Then a little bit of wrinkle detail on the forehead. So up here on the right side, I'm just going to draw a little curve just to show a little bit of anger in his brow. Now for the head, we're going to draw two straight lines coming down towards the jaw. So I'm going to put my fingers where the jaw is pretty much at the same level as the corners of the mouth. So on the left side here, I'm going to start on the outside just above the brow and draw a straight line coming down towards the jaw. So you can see it's the same height as that corner of the mouth. I'll do the same thing on the right side, like that. And for the chin is pretty thick, so it comes down to right about here. So I'm going to draw a straight line as a guide for my chin. And I'm just going to connect those 2 points on either side, from the jaw with a straight line all the way to the chin, like so. Now let's go up onto the ears. So on this side here, right where this line ends, I'm going to go up in an angle, come down an angle. I'm going to round out a little bit. Now here he's got a big, huge hoop earring. So I'm going to draw like a very stretched out oval. So starting on the left side, come down, round at the bottom. I'll round at the top and then connect that point. Then from here I'm just going to draw a straight line behind that earring, kind of angled down. And for some ear detail, just on the inside here, I'm just going to curve a little hook like this, and then round out the end like that. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So I'll show that again. So drawing an angle line going up, angle line coming down, and then curving towards the bottom lobe of the ear. Now let's draw the earring first. So I'm going to draw a straight line down, round out the bottom, round out the top, and then connect those 2 points. And then this point here is just going to go in an angled line right down to the chin, or the cheek. From here, let's draw the ear detail. So curving, little hook, and then just hooking it backwards like that. Now here, where the ear meets the head, I'm just going to draw a curve going in towards the forehead. And then we're going to go towards the center of the forehead here. So we're going to start with the hair. So there's 2 bangs that kind of come over the side of the head. So right about here, I'm going to draw a point. From this point, I'm going to draw an angled line going to the left and an angled line going to the right. Now these bangs are going to curve down pretty far past that ear. So right about here, I'm just going to curve a line. Let's go to the right side. So I'm going to put my finger where it would end and curve to the right side. Now just above here, I'm going to draw that same V. So right about here, Draw an angled line up to the left and then to the right. I'll take these 2 points and connect to the tips. So going up like so on either side. Now to finish off the forehead here, I'm just going to take this line, just kind of go almost straight up, just a little bit at an angle. And then right beside this V, I'm going to draw 3 little lines, just to show the hair and the forehead. Okay, so we got that. Let's go into building out the hair now. So this is he's got some pretty big hair, so I'm going to start building this out kind of like palm leaves. So right in the middle here, right here, I'm just going to draw a curve going up. From this point, I'm going to go to the furthest point for the hair. So I kind of want it to be the same length as this piece right here. So I'm going to go up to about there, and pull this back and tuck this in behind that bang. In the center here, you could always draw a little bit of detail, just splitting it in half. Let's go to the left side here. I'm going to do an overlap. So drawing an angled line up, and then coming out with another strand of hair like this with a curve, and then tucking this in behind that bang. And then you can also split the hair in half with a little line like that. Now let's draw in the layers behind. So here, again, I'm going to do some overlap. So going up in an angle, curving up to a tip, and then pulling this back down behind that bang, and then just drawing a line to separate. And over here, come out. So you can see that the length of the hairs are sort of roughly the same. It kind of creates this sort of dome with this imaginary circle around the head. From here, I'm just going to tuck this in behind that bang, and again, splitting this in half like so. Now we can start layering the hairs in behind. So I'm going to draw a hair strand coming out this way. So right about here, tuck this in behind there, and then this will get tucked in behind there, and we'll split that in half. So you see it's just a series of curves that I'm doing. So we're going to go to this side and draw the exact same thing, but just flipped over. So about that long, we'll bring that right back into the head, and then separate that. Okay, now we're going to start pulling the hairs on the side here. So from here, I'm going to tuck this in under there, and then right here, I'm going to just go across this way. Again, you don't have to finish off the lines inside the hair. It's kind of cool that you kind of keep some open gaps, just gives it a little bit of texture. So over on this side, again, I'm going left and right just to help balance the head out so I don't get too long in certain areas. Okay, now we're going to build out this side, the bottom side, so curve going down. So you can see that the hairs start to curve down this way as they go. Splitting that in half, let's draw one down here. This. And splitting that in half. Now we can get into the neck. Now the neck is quite thick. It actually goes out towards the ears here into a line. So I'm going to start with that collar that he has around his neck first. Let's draw a curve. It goes just below that chin. From here, from the ear, I'm going to draw a curve tucking into that. So you can see there's a little bit of overlap here. And on the right side as well. This drops on the throat. So from that jaw, I'm going to come in a bit, just draw a curve that tucks in underneath on both sides. And then just to the left of this, I'm just going to draw a line on either side that sort of just vanishes off. Now from here, we're going to get into the chest area. So down here, I'm going to draw a point. From here, I'm going to curve out lines for the chest. So towards the right, I'm just going to curve a line that way. And then on the left, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to pull it inwards like that. And then for this collar, let's just finish this off with 2 angled lines going down. In the center here, I'm just going to draw the gem, just a little circle. Now let's get into some shoulders. He's got some really big round shoulders. So if I imagine a circle right around here, I'm going to draw a big shoulder. So I'm not going to close this gap off. I'm going to round it out like that. And then from here, I'm going to do an overlap and just tuck this in behind the neck like that. Do the same thing on this side. So I just want to make sure I get the same height and distance here. And I want to draw the shoulder coming this way. So around like this. And then for the upper part of the shoulder, just tucking that in behind here. And I know there's some ropes that hold this neck collar in, so I'm just going to simplify that and just draw 2 lines connecting that corner on either side. Alright, so before I go any further on the bottom, I just want to draw some more hairs behind this neck here. So here, I'm just going to curve down on both sides, just to kind of make it look like the hair's cascading down the back. Now let's go back to the chest. Now here, I want to go right to the center of the sternum. So right about here, I'm going to draw a straight line down towards my finger. And to give some ripples in the chest, we'll just draw a curve going that way to the right, and a curve going to the left. Now the chest is basically a big sort of, almost an oval shape, but it goes up pretty far, so right about here. So I'm going to put a point here for the armpit, and then on this side, roughly the same height, right about there. From here, I want to round out and then start to come back in towards the center of the chest. So from here, I'm just going to curve around, and then from here, I'm going to start to flatten out and go right into that chest. So on this side, I'll do the same thing. So just rounding out and then flattening out towards the center of that chest. So kind of like that. Let me just clean that up here. He's got some nipples that are kind of visible, so I'm going to draw some ovals, just simple little ovals on either side, left and right. Now for some detail on the chest, if I want to make it look like it's wrinkled, like the skin is like folding over, I'm going to come down a bit and just draw a curve going up on either side. You can leave this out, but I kind of like to do those sort of things. Now let's get into some arms. So his elbows, roughly about here. On this side, I'm going to draw the bicep, just coming inwards. And then you can sort of imagine the bicep as a big oval. So on this side here, I'm just going to draw a curve for some detail. The back of the arm, this is always a tough part for some people. Right here, behind the shoulder, I'm just going to do an overlap and just round out like this. Come straight down with the line. And then now I'm going to do an overlap. From here, I'm just going to curve down. So you can see that's overlapped on top. Here, I'm just going to draw the forearm like that. Let's go to the right side. So here, let's draw that bicep like so. And then the inner part. So imagine that big oval. So I'm going to draw the other side of the bicep here. And then I'm going to come down. So doing an overlap here for the back of the arm. Coming in. Draw a straight line coming down. Then do an overlap for the forearm coming down this way. Over here on the bicep, I'm going to do an overlap and just come down with the forearm. Now I'm not going to draw the whole body, so I'm just going to finish off just about this height. So I'm just going to draw that line that separates his forearm with that the arm brace. So let's draw a curve around that arm. Close this off here. And with these points, I'm just going to pull them inwards towards each other. Let's do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to draw a curve, forearm, and just angle two lines down. Now for the stomach area, his ribs or his back sort of come in towards his waist, and his waist is quite thin. So right about here, I'm going to curve a line inwards. Same thing on this side, on the left. I'm just going to curve in. Now I'm going to do a slight overlap and just pull these lines down. He's got some pant folds that go on top of his stomach. So right in the middle here, I'm going to draw a point. I'm going to curve up and out on both sides. From this point, I'm just going to curve down like this. And on the right, I'll do the same thing. Again, I'm going back and forth just to make sure that my composition is balanced. From here, I'll come in a bit, go up at an angle on both sides. Just going to draw that fold coming down. And I'm going to tuck these back in by curving these lines back in. You can always go in and just finish off the sides of the hips. From here, let's draw the belt. So from these 2 points, I'm going to connect them with an upward curve like this. From these points on the ends, I'll pull them down slightly. And then now I'm going to do a little bit of a wave. So it's going to get down lower here in the center, and come back up on the tops, or on the sides here. So I'm going to come down, round out the bottom, and then go back out. In the middle here, let's just draw that little gem, so big oval. For some stomach muscles, I'm going to keep this quite simple. Start from the middle, I'm going to curve to the left, coming out like this. On the right side, right about here, I'm going to overlap, go out. And then here, I'm going to come down a bit and draw another line, and draw another overlap like that. On the sides here, I'm just going to draw a curve on one side, then on the other, and then at the stomach, right here where the pant folds are, I'm just going to curve two lines out like that. And let's just finish off the belt here. So just two lines curving out like so. And I think that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan from Dragon Ball Z. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Be sure to check out our anime playlist. I have a ton of characters in there. I'll be adding more every week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.